Hello and welcome. I'm Lynn of Linux Stitches Creates, and welcome to my Flosstube channel about counter cross stitch and the project bags I make. It is Monday, April 7th, 2025. This is episode 161. Welcome if you are new. I know I have a lot of new subscribers recently. Thank you for joining me. I hope you like what you see. Come back, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things. And for my wonderful returning subscribers, thank you so much. It has been a busy week. I have not been sewing, which I really do need to get back to, but with Springo going on, I've been doing a lot of stitching, and you know what? It brings me a lot of joy, so it is what it is. But it was also my grandson's birthday, and we went to the Cincinnati Cyclones hockey game, which was his very first game. He liked it. He had a lot of fun. The funny part was he said he liked all the things that were in between the actual hockey game itself. You know, if you've been to any sports, they do all kinds of cheers and dances and games with the attendees and whatnot, and he thought that was really the best part. So he had a good time. We all had a good time. He enjoyed his birthday presents. He's been watching with his dad a lot of marble run videos, and if you've never seen them, they're a lot of fun. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description box. There's one gentleman from the Netherlands, and he builds marble runs in his house, but he also builds them outside, and then he sets the marbles off, you know, down the hillside, and he's got a drone following them, and he does all this commentary as if it's, you know, any kind of major sport. It's just his marbles going down the hill. It's entertaining. It really is. But then again, I have a weird sense of humor, so you know. But if you're interested, I'll put a link to one of those so you can see it. It's just silly fun. It really is. So I have been doing a lot of stitching. I have been stitching for Springo. Springo is part of the magazine monthly challenge group on Facebook that's run by Carolyn Zook of C Zook Stitch and Robin of Bird's Eye Stitches. And Springo, you pick 5 to 7 projects. You create a bingo board. Because there's 7 letters in Springo, the board has 35 spots instead of 25 spots. You can put them on the board however you want. I picked my projects, and then I did a random number generator and put the numbers on my board in that particular order. So my board looks like this, so the numbers are just very random, and so far for the first 6 days it was a different project every day. I was like, oh wow. So I was really hoping the 7th day today would be the 7th project, but no, I had a repeat, and the number for tomorrow has already been called, and I have the same project as today. So I will have had one project for 3 days. And that's okay, because all the projects on my board, I want to get progress on. So I'm keeping this here. And I wrote down the number of stitches for the challenge. If you're participating in it, you put a album on the Springo page, or no, the magazine monthly page, label it Springo, and you put your before and after pictures. You're required to participate. You're required to do 1 hour or 100 stitches, and I decided I wasn't going to put a photo album this time. I just wanted the fun challenge. So I'm kind of participating on the sidelines, so to speak. But I have stitched every day. So the first 7 days of April. And so I'll show you my progress. And I'm not going to do it in any particular order because I just have them here and it would take too long to sort things out. So, let's see, on April 6th, I had under G, I had Gamer, which is a Forbidden Fiber Co. pattern. It was in a box that Forbidden Fiber Co. had done. So I'm using the called for fabric and the called for floss. And I have a picture of where it was. And this is where I am now. So I added because and gaming. I didn't think about what I was going to stitch when I put it in the Q-snap, and if I had put it over just a little more, because there will be things that go up the side here. If I had put it over, I could have gotten the two words here and completed. But, you know, hopefully it'll get called again. So I'll put the other words, and then I've got, I believe, a coin, a heart, and a coin, and that will finish that row. And then there's a character on a controller, and then there'll be another coin and heart, and then the top words. So, but yeah, so that, the because and gaming was 244 stitches, just if you're curious. I don't usually keep track. There's only one time I keep track of my stitches, and that's for a game that I play with my friends. But right now, when I can get everything into Pattern Keeper, it makes life a whole lot easier. So, the very first day, April 1st, for the letter P in Springo, I had Twin Peak Primitives. Use Easter. Very cute for Easter. And hopefully I have my picture. And on April 1st, I got 376 stitches and almost have the word Easter. Once again, I don't have my Q-snap adjusted correctly, and I only had an 8-inch available, so that's what I did. But I got, this one was already here, so I had these two put in, and then those two flags, and I need to fill in the black next time I pull it out and get the E, and then hopefully I can start the next one. So, I feel like I'm rushing. I don't know why. Probably because it's late. I was stitching a lot today, and I don't want to be up all night editing. No, that's okay. Let's see. Then for the letter I have ink circles, elemental dragons, fire. So hopefully I've got my picture on where I was. This I put 158 stitches in on. And so I finished filling in. I had some here. I finished filling him in and then put a little more. I would have had a little more, but I had to frog because I started in the wrong spot. I didn't realize it. So, but I've got this into Markup XP now, and it's a little bit easier. Markup is great if you've never used it. My iPad, I don't know if it, I think it was one of the updates. I don't think it's always had this ability, but I can, when I take a picture of a pattern now, I have the option of being able to scan it like a document. So that makes it into a PDF and makes it much easier to put it into markup. And sometimes if the pattern's not flat enough, but I'm really getting used to working with it, and it makes it so much easier to keep track of things. Okay, for N, I have Noel Sampler, which is was a Sal from Satsuma Street a few years back. And what I decided to do this time, that it was called, and hopefully this is an ongoing project that I am doing all year. My goal is to do at least one block a month on this, and I decided that it really helps when I have the framework done. So I put in 536 stitches on this, and I added the frames, these 3 frames. So those are ready to go. There's 3 more. Well, actually, technically, there's 3 more I need to fill in here, and then of course the 4 at the bottom too. So, but that gives me a very good start the next time I pull it out. Sorry, I have cat fur everywhere. Okay, then for R, I have a Rebel Stitcher pattern, Flowers Grow Back. I started this at StitchCon a few years ago. I had put it aside, and I don't know why I've had been reluctant to come back to it, but hopefully I've put my picture up, and this is where I am now. So I have finished filling in this motif. That was 396 stitches to finish filling that in. So now I can go other places. I think I realized this fabric isn't going to be quite big enough, so I probably will not put in the top and bottom border. I will just do the words with all the flowers and other motifs. So, I mean, it might work out, but I don't think it's going to. But I love this fabric for it, so that's that. That was my stitching on that this week. But I thought I was going to be a whole lot longer. I guess it's because I'm talking so fast. Maybe I drank too much energy stuff earlier today. I had Spark, and that seems to be really getting me going, or keeping me going. Okay, 2 more that were for Springo. No, 1 more that was for Springo. I have, for S, I have Sparkle, which is another Forbidden Fiber Co. pattern. And this was one that I started for Mental Health Care Sal a couple of years ago, which is the month of May, hosted by Candy the 614 Stitcher. If you are interested in doing, start planning now. Find your pattern. Anything that you find uplifting. That's kind of the way I look at this Sal. Candy will talk about it, or has talked about it. Her video just uploaded today. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And Athena has made a new shirt that is only on sale this week. Today is April 7th. It goes through April 14th. So that way she has time to get the t-shirts ordered, get all the vinyl, get everything ready, and get it out to you before May. So I really like the new design. Hopefully I've put it in here so you can see it. So I have always participated with Candy. So This one I'm trying, because I've had it for so long, I really want to get it done. So hopefully I've put in a picture. My first day, it was called, I had the D, I did the E and the F, and that was 152 stitches. And then today I added knot, and that's another 209 stitches, and it was called again for tomorrow. So I will be putting, I should at least get is in tomorrow, and I'd really like to get more of the word defined in. So it's, as you can tell, it's a lot bigger than I expected it to be. And I'm having trouble with this fabric. I like forbidden fiber fabric usually, but there's something about this one that I'm struggling with. I don't know, I don't quite know what it is. Whether in the dyeing process it shrank a little bit, I'm not sure. But I know that it should be a 28 count. And I don't have, oh, it's a 32 count. It's a 32 count Belfast charcoal. Because I did get the called for fabric for this one. So yeah. But we're getting there. We're making progress. So that was all my Springo stitching for this week. So I kept up. I'm very pleased with myself. Yay. A couple of days I had some extra time. So I pulled out, I think on Saturday, or maybe it was Sunday. That was only yesterday and I don't remember. Saturday was a big day. I pulled out Early Americans, Betsy Ross, and I just added a little bit more to it. Not a lot. I'll do more of this at the end of the month. So I finished her flag. I got her flag and flagpole and that little flower. That's all I did. It wasn't a whole lot, but you know, hey, progress is progress. So, you know, I still have her whole house to put in, her name, and then there's a motif up there. So, a little bit of progress. But like I said, you know, once Springo is done, then I can do more with this. Hopefully before the end of the month, I will be able to finish Betsy Ross. And keep momentum on that going, because that's another goal if you're new. There's 9 blocks for that, and I had wanted to do one every month. Obviously I'm behind since that's only my 3rd one, but you know, I'm getting there. And then if you remember, last week, a week ago, yesterday, the last weekend in March was the first session of Stitch Fest 2025, hosted by Bobby of Stitching Bits and Bobs. I talked about the retreat last week in last week's video, but I didn't show the swag because Bobby had asked if we would hold off so that the people for session 2, which just happened this past weekend, would be surprised. So I started, Bobby absolutely spoiled us. Oh, I forgot to bring up, well, I'll put a picture in. Bobby created so many things for this weekend. So the pattern that we got on Saturday evening, A Stitcher's Garden by Textilly Crafts. I started it that night. We had it was a complete kit. It came with Pirate Robin floss. She is out of Seattle, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Washington. But Bobby had created this thread holder, and these flowers were the theme, and this is the color scheme for the entire weekend, pretty much. But she created that floss holder. We had our choice. I've got slidey bags on my lap and everything's falling. We had our choice of 36 count linen. It was Atomic Ranch Winter Mint, or you could do 18 count Aida. And I started it on Saturday and I have finished it. So that is my Stitcher's Garden. And the reason I say my, there's another flower there. And I just decided, and forgive me, Textilly Crafts, if you watch, I wanted another, I like symmetry. And, you know, you had these two beautiful flowers. These are very small, and I wanted the other, second pair of scissors. So, nothing against the designer. I love it. It was so cute. It was such a fun stitch. It really was pretty quick. This was 69 by 65. And Bobby gave us the finishing piece for it. So, hopefully, maybe, you know how I am, next week I will have it FFO'd onto this. Isn't that pretty? So Bobby created that too. And then it'll go, you know, it'll go in the center there. So much prettier than that, but to give you an idea. So then it'll be stand-up. So that was just one, this whole kit, complete kit, was just one thing that Bobby gave us. On the very first day, Bobby gave us, oh, that's from the shop. Why am I not finding things? Uh-oh, where's the other piece? Okay. Well, this isn't good. Sorry. I should have pulled it all out. Aha, there's the piece I'm missing. Okay. So when we checked in with Bobby, when we first got there, she gave us name tags. And, you know, she emailed us and said, you know, what do you want on your name tag? So I'm thinking, you know, it's just a regular hang around your neck name tag. So I said, well, you know, if you could put Lynn and underneath it, Lynn X Stitches Creates, that would be great. Because I figure if people watch me, that's how they would know me. Well, no. We got these beautiful stand up, and she did the best she could. You know, that's a lot of space to put. But how beautiful is that? Oh, goodness. So there is, it's using the back of it. Let's try this again. There we go. Now you can see it. How beautiful is that? So depending upon whether you just had your first name or your first and last name, or did like I did, you know, was how big your lettering was. But, oh my gosh, I love that. And of course, I will keep that in my bag to take with me to other retreats to put out on the table, because that's beautiful. She also gave us this great mug, like a Stanley or a Yeti. It was, I mean, it's fabulous. And I'll put a picture in of it. It kept my ice almost 24 hours in that cup, because I would put ice in it, And then the hotel had lemon water in the lobby, so I would fill it up with lemon water and keep filling it up. And I'm telling you, my ice lasted definitely 18 hours, if not almost 24. And then I would dump it in the morning and refill it. It's a great cup. It is not a name brand, but whatever it is, it's fabulous. So that was the first day. Then in the morning of the second day, she gave us a gift certificate. Well, first of all, she gave us some, she gave us the gift certificate, which I'll tell you about in a second, and she gave us some patterns. One was an exclusive called Spring in Michigan by the Spanish stitcher. There's not a picture, so, oh yes there is. So that's Spring in Michigan. So that's that. This one, oh no, it does too. I'm going crazy. This one is by Quaternion Stitches Creations. I started a Sal with them 2 years ago with the dragons. That got UFO'd. But I saw the model and now I'm thinking, I should pull that back out and try to do it again. But this is called Ukrainian Girl. Isn't that pretty? And then this one's the one that doesn't have the picture. It's by Jan Hicks Creates. And it says, Be Who You Are. And it's got 2 birds and a heart. And it says, you are here, safe, welcome, valued, heard, and accepted. But the chart itself says, Be Who You Are. And it was by Jan Hicks. So those were exclusives for the retreat. And then we got this gift certificate to go to the shop. And at the shop, at Stitching Bits and Bobs, we could pick out any floss we wanted, any brand, any cotton floss. So I got some cherry wine from Gentle Arts. Just a very pretty red. I'm trying to add to my red. You know how I am. I like blues and purples, but I've kind of gotten, I'm kind of getting into the red sampler thing. So we got a floss. We were able to pick either Westcott scissors or, sorry, not Westcott, Kelmscott, good grief, Kelmscott scissors or a needle minder, and I picked those. I thought those were very interesting. The texture to them and the length of the scissors themselves. I don't have a pair like this, so I picked those, and of course they're blue. Then we got to pick something. As I said, you know, Bobby created all these things. Well, she has her own brand, Willoughby Ann, creates floss drops, acrylic floss drops, but she also does these beautiful laser cut. And there was a cat, but I don't know, something about this bee really called to me. So that was what I picked out. I love that. So a wood product. And then any pattern we wanted under $15. So I got this heart and hand. The everyday sweet little things are the most beautiful. And it comes with a little heart button. So that was the first half of day 2. Then she set, when everybody had been to the shop, she set things out on the table, and we had I told you last week we had 4 tables that we were eating at rather than eating where we were stitching. And she had, she set stuff out at all the tables, and she said, you can pick 2 things from the first 3 tables. And if you pick 2 things, then you have to pick something from the 4th table, implying that whatever was on the 4th table was bad. So, and see, I can't even remember which was the 4th table now. So she called us by sort of out of alphabetical order, but the letter of our first name. She picked M first, L was second, lucky me. So I got from Chantel 141 this display. So yes, I will have to paint it, but I do have the piece from Thread Needle Stitchery's Beach Please last year. I still haven't FFO'd it. It's gonna go on there. Then I picked, I think it was this one. It's a Shepherd's Bush pattern, Heart and Home, and it's a scissor fob, but it's a complete kit. It's got the threads, it's got the linen, it's got the beads. And then from the 4th table, I picked, it's Couleur d'Etoile is the designer. It's from 2024, and it's L'Heure du Thé. I almost want to say the hour of stitching, but, or hour of tea, or I'll look up the translation. But look how pretty that is. I love it. So that's the designer. My French is very out of d'étoile. I know of the star. Color of the star, I believe would be the translation. But the pattern is mostly in French. Oh no, it does have an English translation. 96 by 69. I thought it was so pretty. So that was from the bad table. And honestly, I looked up and down that table and there wasn't anything bad on there that I could see. So thank you, Bobby. And then we got, in the evening, we got our complete kit. There were 2 more patterns that she gave us. A freebie from Textilly, another freebie from Textilly Crafts. She had the model, and I think I've got pictures of the models, so isn't that cute? Stitching. And then there was another one. It's called Smell the Flowers, and it's by Wildflower Stitching. Permission granted. So this was, I guess, a pattern from Nashville Needlework Market. So I will put a picture, hopefully, of the models. And then on Sunday, which was our 3rd day, she gave us this cute little wagon that she printed on and laser cut. How adorable is that? And she gave us 2 little charms. One was a frog, and then a caterpillar. And it says, I'm your little worry worm. Keep me near and squeeze me tight. Tell me your worries and everything will be all right. So that's not a caterpillar, it's a worryworm, sorry. But how cute. And then the little frog, which hopefully will keep the frogging away. And I don't remember if I showed last week, she had all these beautiful bags that were spring themed. So gorgeous. So Bobby spoiled us left and right. It's another one of her bags. So yeah, so I will include at the end of this my video of the trunk shows that were there, because I know some people find that interesting. Like I said last week, she had a very nice variety. Some that you usually see, and then some more unusual, international, and newer designers. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great retreat. Highly recommend. I do plan to go again next year. So hopefully my friends and I, we can all get the same weekend instead of being different opposite weekends. Okay, so that's Springo, that's the retreat. And I also have another couple of pieces of haul. Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives had ordered this pattern for me a long time ago. She had discovered this designer, and I was looking at the website and I found this pattern and I loved it. Look at the great mailers Bobby has now. All her own logo. I think that is so cool. Bobby always sends a sweet treat with your order. And then, so by Whispered by the Wind, Counted Cross Stitch Designs, I ordered Cats Gather Here. I'm taking the washi tape off. Cats Gather Here by the Catnip Plant. I just think that's so funny. And it's cute. And these look like my cats. We've had 2 tuxedo cats. And then Chris, he's fluffy. This one's more fat, but then fluffy, but you know. So I just love that. So thank you, Bobby, for getting that for me. I don't know when I will start that. And I also got from Michael's at the retreat. I told you that GW Stitching Depot was there, and this was the file box that she was using for storing her floss on her floss holders for a file box. So they'll be in the video if you've forgotten what they look like. And it's got the lid locks on. I did not get them last weekend. I'm going to have to order them and pay the shipping now. But I've thought about it and I really like that idea. So I'm going to be changing up, not the floss that I have on the door, but my Weeks, Classic Colorworks, and Gentle Arts. I'm going to change those up and put them in the file box. Just another way to be organized. Hopefully it'll work out okay for me. I don't know. We'll see. Just trying something new. And I like the idea of it being clear and being able to see it very easily. So, we talked about mental health care, Sal. I hope you'll join Candy and everyone that's doing it in May. You know, you can start looking for patterns. There was a pattern that EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers was showing today from Shaded Stitchery. Nuri at Shaded Stitchery. She has this pattern out now on a digital PDF version you can get from her website, and it's called grounded in chaos, but it's a great pattern. I protect my peace. I listen to my intuition. I am more than my thoughts. I will slow down. I feel all the things. I know perfect doesn't exist. I check in with myself. I give myself grace. I make mistakes. And then it's got all this beautiful, I'll try to put a picture in if I can do that. So I will not be starting it this May. I may buy it for next year. I have Sparkle from Forbidden Fiber. I have Magnolia from Forbidden Fiber. And I have a third one from Forbidden Fiber that I was going to start last year and didn't. I don't know if I'll start it this year either, because I'm going to be traveling in May. And I will talk more about that in the upcoming weeks. Let's see. And of course, Athena, selling the mental health care shirts. She also has 3 shirts, 2 new ones, and a bringing back shirt for April. So for the April shirts, you have until the end of the month. For mental health care, you have just this week. So if you're watching this after the 14th, sorry you've missed this year's mental health care shirt. I'm sorry. I have one RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, project bag left. Just one. So if the link is still on my link tree from my Instagram page or in my description box below, then you know it's still available. And there's just one. That's it. Let's see. What else did I have to tell you? Wednesday starts the Black Needle Society Downton Abbey Digital Retreat, which I will be participating in. They announced their new reps, so congratulations to the returning and new reps for this coming year. I hope they have as much fun as I did. And I'm waffling on now, so I will say good night, have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.